Hi everyone, spring is here and I know that many of you are planning trips just like me. Now, I only go with a carry-on and a personal item, and I know for many of you, you might find that daunting. But I have been doing this since my honeymoon when they lost my luggage. So if I can do it long before I needed to do it because it got so expensive to check your luggage, you can do it too. All you have to do is follow these simple rules that I'll be showing you in this video. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I show you 4 of my favorite little tricks to keep your luggage clean and fresh throughout your journeys. Now, many of you might be asking, why carry-on only? And there are many good reasons. The first reason is there's very little chance of your luggage getting lost by the airlines. Sometimes, and frequently, they might take away your luggage from you at the gate, and if they do that, make sure you have an air tag in your luggage. But other than that, the likelihoods of you losing your luggage are pretty small. The second reason is if you're taking a multi-city tour and you have to go from place to place to place, you're not dragging along so much luggage with you. I mean, if it's just a carry-on and a personal item bag, and you can all go in one place and you just pull behind you and it's easy. And here's a big reason. 3 weeks ago in Condé Nast, it was reported that our domestic carriers are charging more for checked luggage. How much more? Somewhere between $10 and $20 more for your first and second piece of luggage. Not only that, JetBlue just announced that they are going to be charging a surcharge for peak seasons and holiday seasons. In the description below, I will have both articles talking about the fees that the airlines are charging us. So you'll be able to see which airlines are charging how much more. So I'm going to be taking you through how I pack my luggage step by step. So this is the first step that I do. Step 1 is check before you go. Now, what do I mean by check before you go? The first thing you should be checking is your airline's limitation on carry-on luggage. Now, each airline is different, and so you want to make sure that you're doing all the measurements properly, which is you want to measure from the bottom of your wheels to the top of your handle and across the back of the carry-on, and also the depth of the carry-on. Also check for your personal item because some airlines also have a very strict limitation on personal items. And also very important is to check your airline's weight restrictions because they can vary widely. For instance, British Air's weight restriction on your carry-on luggage is 50 pounds, but KLM is 26, and that's a huge difference. And make sure you do the same thing for your personal item bag. And if you don't know how to pack your personal item bag, I have a video for that over here. Now make sure you check the country that you're traveling to, limitations on liquids, medications, and other items like vitamins, because some countries have very strict limitations on the amount of liquid you're allowed to take into the country and prescription medications, in which, by the way, they might require you to take it in the actual bottle that you have it in, and even some medications. So ADHD drugs are like forbidden in Japan. So these are all things that you have to take into consideration. Now, about a week before you pack, you're going to check the weather and make sure that the weather is the same that you expected it to be. So you've now found out what your weather is, and you're now ready to start getting your clothing together. But wait, what do you need first? A packing list. Now, a packing list will help you keep yourself organized, not forget anything, and also, if you keep a packing list with you when you go on your trip, you will have a way of checking to make sure that you've left nothing behind. Now, I have a packing list of my own, which I will include in the description below, but there's also a really great app that I recently found out called PackPoint. And what it does is it makes up a packing list for you based on your destination and the weather that's currently going on there. And so this is a really great tool for you to be able to use. I will also have the link to PackPoint in my description below. Now, the next thing you want to do after you find out what kind of clothing you're going to need for this trip is that you want to try it on and make sure that you feel good in this clothing and that it looks good on you, because you're going to be looking at yourself for a very long time in pictures. Now, all the clothing you should take with you should be versatile. And when I say versatile, I mean that it should work together and that you can get multiple uses out of one piece of item. So some people call this a capsule wardrobe, but that I think leads people to believe that you have to pick only one color. Colors that mix and match are perfectly fine, and they should all be able to give you more than one use. And if you're thinking, I'm going to pack this just in case, the answer to that is no. Anything that's just in case will probably never be worn. So really think about what you're going to be doing on this trip and what the weather is like and how good you feel in this clothing. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below and leave plenty of comments because I love the feedback. Now the next thing you should do is get yourself a good set of packing cubes if you don't happen to have a good set of packing cubes already. Now they can be regular packing cubes or compression packing cubes, but the whole purpose is to keep you organized in your suitcase and to avoid loose things in your suitcase, because that's the key, is organization. For me personally, the way I pack in my packing cubes is I pack by type. So I'll put my shirts in one packing cube, my socks and undies in another packing cube. This way I know when I look inside the cube exactly what I'm going to find in there. Also, when choosing your packing cubes, make sure that they fit together in your suitcase to maximize the space in your suitcase. Now, I use regular packing cubes when I'm concerned about things getting wrinkled. But if I don't really care, I use compression cubes, and that way I can maximize the use of my luggage. Now, among us minimalist packers, there is this belief that there's one right way to use your packing cubes, whether it's the rolling method or the folding method or the KonMari method, and they feel very strongly about that. I don't. I think that you pack in a packing cube in the way that makes the most sense. So sometimes I roll my stuff. My husband likes to use a modified KonMari method. Sometimes I fold my stuff and so does he, because it just doesn't lend itself to being rolled, it's too bulky. So in this way, we kind of change it up. And I won't say there's one kind of right way to do it, but if you're interested in seeing all the methods there are to pack in your packing cubes, please leave it in the description below. Now, don't leave a single corner of your carry-on unfilled. So if you're taking an extra pair of shoes, put something into those shoes and then put those shoes together like the way you bought them. And if you have rods in the back of your luggage where your handles are, you might want to put some small items, as long as it doesn't bulk up where your packing cubes are, because you're going to put your packing cubes on top of that. And while we're talking about shoes, a great hack on how to keep your shoes clean, other than to put it into a shoe bag, is that you can use a shower cap on each side of your soles and then pack them. And that way everything stays nice and clean. Now, not everything lends itself to a packing cube. And the way my husband and I organize our bags is 3/4 of our bags are packing cubes and 1/4 of our bags are things that don't go into packing cubes, like jeans or jean jackets or lightweight jackets. Those things we just roll up and put into the other 1/4 of the bag. And make sure that you pack everything tight and snug so that when you're rolling your luggage along, nothing moves. But don't make it too tight that you have to fight to close your suitcase. Now, after you have everything in your bag, zipper it up and weigh your bag and make sure it meets the compliance of that airline that you're using. So I happen to be planning a trip. It's one of my usual complicated trips, so it's some cold weather and some warm weather, but I'm going to show you how I pack my luggage. Now, this is my away luggage, fully packed, and I'm going to be doing a reverse packing of this luggage. Now, I am not sponsored by Away, I just really happen to like their products. So this is my Away bag, fully packed, open. I'm going to go over everything that's inside of this. Now, your pack will be different, but this is my pack, and I'm going to show you how much I have in here because I thought about it. Now, first, on this side, I have a sun hat, winter gloves, and a headband to cover my ears, and a scarf that goes with everything that I have in the bag. Now, in this cube, I have all my polo fleece. This has 12 days of underwear, socks, and a sports bra. Here I have 2 cardigans and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cotton sweaters, which will mix and match with the shirts on the other side. And as I told you, in between the poles, I have my flip-flops, a brush, and my hair straightener. Now let's flip to this side. In here, I have my pajamas and my leggings. And yes, it's a compression cube. It's a Gonex cube, which, by the way, Travel and Leisure rated the #1 compression cube for 2024. In this cube, I have one blouse, one heavy pair of leggings, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shirts to be worn with or without the cardigans and sweaters. On this side, I have my bathing suit. I have 2 dressy nights that I know about, so here's one dress. Here's the top that goes with these palazzo pants. 2 pairs of jeans, and in here are my ballet slippers that I love so much because look at how little they pack up, and they're good to dress up with, and I don't need any heels because I'm 5'7". I happen to be going away for 12 days, but this is more than anyone needs for even 2 to 3 weeks. You could just kind of carry on this way and just wash this clothing. But if you're averse to washing, you definitely could get 2 weeks out of this pack, no problem. So as you can see, you can stick a ton of stuff in here, not overstuff your bag if you just think about what you're packing first. So as promised, I'm going to show you my 4 little tips on how to keep your luggage and your clothing in tip-top condition when you're on vacation. So my first tip is Downy Wrinkle Release. Now this is a really great product for getting all the wrinkles out of your clothing. You just spray it on, smooth out your clothing, hang it up for like 2 or 3 minutes. It dries very quickly and all the wrinkles will be gone. Not only that, it gets out restaurant smells from your clothing. So if your clothing is still basically clean, but you smell like there's been cooking around you, you spray this on and it smells just like it just came out of the laundry. 2, it's Bounce. Now why Bounce? Well, they keep your luggage fresh. So what you do is you take a small stack of these along with you and you throw them in your suitcase. And you can lay them at the bottom of your suitcase and you can put them into a smelly bag of worn clothing, and it keeps your whole bag smelling fresh. I highly recommend this. A Tide pen. Now this has 2 purposes. 1, I always keep a Tide pen with me when I'm in a restaurant or I'm going out to dinner or any time like that. Because if I get something on me and I put this on and I just put a napkin underneath the back and I rub it out, I got basically most of the stain out, and my clothing is not going to get fully stained. Now, method number 2 for this, I use it as a pre-treat, and let me explain this to you. It goes along with this. Yes, this is an old Clinique bottle, but it's the right size. So what I put in here is Woolite. Now I know some of you are opposed to doing laundry, but what are you more opposed to? Doing laundry or having your favorite item stained forever and you have to throw it away after a vacation? So this is how I do it, and it's just very easy. I go to the sink and I fill it up with water and I put in some detergent. I then rub the item with the Tide pen and get out as much of the stain as I can, and I give it a little rub. Then I take the item, I put it in, and I will wash it in the sink. Now here's my magic little trick. So after I wash my item, I take a hotel towel, take the wet item like this. We'll pretend for the sake of this video, this is wet, okay? And I just put it in neatly, and then I roll up the towel really tight on the item. And after I do that, I squish out all the water. By the time I'm done doing this, this is practically dry. I then hang it up, and it's usually dry in the morning, even if it's a cotton. So those are my 4 tips on how to keep your clothing in tip-top condition while you're on vacation. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button below. Bye.